It might be Fat Tuesday, but today we're at Skinny Joey's. It's Buster with BTA and Lex Ludlow, bare knuckle fighter, 3-0 right here in the city. Welcome back to South Philly, because you were just here the other night whooping somebody's ass.
Knocked the snot out of that guy, literally.
Okay, so today we're gonna get ourselves some cheesesteaks. We're gonna enjoy a little lunch. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, let's find out what sort of cheesesteak Lex Ludlow likes to order. So typically when I order, especially, it depends on what place I'm going to. Right. But if I'm coming here, I'm gonna get the non-seeded roll. I'm gonna get it with Cooper Sharp and whiz and onions. Oh. Yeah, that's typically my order. Today I might switch it up though. I don't know. I got a hankering for mayo, so I might actually put some.
Yeah, I always like mayo.
You like mayo on a cheesesteak? I think that's a hack. Not everybody does. Yeah. All right, let's see what they got.
One thing I realized about Philly, everybody's got something to complain about.
Nailed that.
Yeah, everybody's got something to complain about, you know what I mean? Me, I'm like a kind of go with the flow guy.
Well, that's interesting you say that though, because you are the most hated man in combat sports. What does that mean, and how do you earn that title?
So I started it by doing some promos. Like I always wanted to be the heel when I fought.
Sure.
Well, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I never wanted to be the good guy. I never wanted to be John Cena.
What fun is that?
Exactly. I wanted to be Ted DiBiase to the Hulk Hogan.
Knock the kids basketball.
Yeah, I always wanted the heat. So when I started MMA, I wanted to be the heel. So when I got my first bare knuckle fight, a buddy of mine named CJ, me and him were on the phone, big pro wrestling fan himself, and we were talking. I said, I need something, because I cut the first promo and I called Fedor a Russian piece of shit and how I want to fight him and whatnot. Yeah. And I got some heat from it. A lot of like positive but negative.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So.
Very Philadelphia.
Yeah, so I said, I need a stick besides, because I'm known as Lex the Grizzly Bear Ludlow. So I said, I need something else besides that. I need something to stick with me. And he said, well, he was like, everybody hates you. He's like, why don't we just call you the most hated man in combat sports? And I said, oh my God, that sounds so good. So I went,
and it gives you a license to sort of do whatever you want.
Exactly.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, so I said, I went on an interview and I was like, it was like a Skype call. And I typed my name in as the most hated man in combat sports. And when I did the interview, the guy's like, why are you the most hated man in combat sports? Why are you? Like, he just kept asking. I was like, because I am. I had no reason to really do it. But ever since I did that, it just stuck. You know what I mean? And everywhere I go, to be like, oh my God, that's the most hated man in combat sports.
Well, and I also think it's a bigger honor and a more talked about honor than if you were to be the most liked man in combat sports.
But you know what's funny?
No one's going to ask you about
But everybody likes me though.
That's Philadelphia.
Yeah, everybody likes me. So so it's kind of like, but I'm still sticking with it. I'm still hating it.
100%.
I don't break kayfabe.
Eminem used to say, you got to make them fear you before you make them feel you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So I think where you're at right now in combat sports, they need to be afraid of you before they love you and buy your t-shirt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Knucklemania 6 the other night, it goes to decision. Were you at all, like, you get to the decision and you're like, wait a minute, is there any chance I'm losing this? Or you knew?
No, I knew. I knew. He hit me probably like twice. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he was an interesting individual, I will give him that. He smelled like beer and cigarettes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
What's the locker room like at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? Like, is it like a weird vibe? Is everybody kind of walking out like, fuck you?
Nah, complete opposite. Yeah. Everybody's kind of calm and relaxed. So my first one that I did, I only did MMA. So it was like, MMA fighters. But then my first bare knuckle one I did, it was like a mix of MMA fighters and boxers. So I never there'd be like some boxers I never seen before or heard of, Sure. So it was kind of interesting, but it's a very relaxed, When people start warming up, it gets a little bit intense, but when you first get back there, it's nice and calm. And yeah.
I'll tell you, the crowd gets a little nutty during those events. Did you see some of the fights?
I didn't. I was up at. I ended up going to the club box after my fight, C3 or whatever it was. All my boys were up there, so I went up there. But I watched them after. Yeah, I knew there was going to be fights. Yeah.
It is, when you go to a bare knuckle event, in the concourse, you can tell every tough guy in the city's there. And then also, do ketchup on a cheesesteak?
I do ketchup on a cheesesteak. I know, listen, before I called Chris Dawkins. You guys know who Chris Dawkins is?
Yeah.
I called Chris Dawkins on my way here, and I said, are they going to judge me if I put ketchup on a cheesesteak? He said to me, he said, why don't you take a bite before you do the ketchup? And I was like, all right.
And then be like, needs ketchup.
Yeah.
Hey, my favorite part about Skinny Joey's,
Jesus Christ.
ain't nothing skinny about that.
Oh my God. That is huge.
So, but you're not from South Philly.
I'm from the suburbs, dude. I'm a suburbs kid.
Where at?
I'm from Levittown, Pennsylvania. But then my mom and my dad split up when I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Okay.
So my mom ended up remarrying, and I moved to Horsham, Pennsylvania, Willow Grove area.
Yep.
And I went to school from there from 2001 to 2012.
How were you as a student? Were you a good kid? Or
I was a great kid, but I just was a horrible student.
Why? You just didn't want to like participate?
I was too busy daydreaming about being in the WWE, brother.
Bro, I couldn't agree more.
It's funny because you don't really when you're in, when I grew up, you didn't really meet people that were into wrestling like that. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So when I was a kid, I was always kind of the weird one because everybody liked the NFL. They liked the Phillies, the Eagles, the Flyers. Be honest with you, bro, I don't watch any of that stuff.
You're not a sports guy.
No, not at all. I am strictly a combat sports WWE fan.
Who's the best wrestler of all time, in your mind?
Like performer or entertainer?
Overall.
Well, I'm going to say Ric Flair, but everybody says Shawn Michaels, but I think entertainment, I don't know. I always thought Ric Flair was the best. But
Ric Flair, so for me, I had a weird intro for Ric Flair because, I was a big WWF kid.
right.
And, I was born in '86. So when Flair came around, it was in '92 at the Rumble.
Yep, I could see a tear in my eye.
And I just thought, who's this crazy old guy? For me,
He always looked old.
yeah, for me, it didn't click that he was a big deal. And I didn't know about any of that, him and Dusty Rhodes beating each other up all across America type stuff. I didn't catch any of that. I didn't see any of that.
Right.
So for me, I was a big Shawn Michaels guy. I was a big fan of the Rockers, pre-Heartbreak Kid.
Right.
And then when he turned on Jannetty and turned into who he was, I loved it.
Barbershop, dude.
For you, what's next? You're 3-0 in bare knuckle. Is there another fight scheduled?
I don't know yet. I mean, I just fought, so usually the show goes on for a little bit, and then they'll circle back and they'll call me, with a guy. I've really been calling out that bitch Chris Camozzi a lot, who's the former 205-pound champion. He just lost his belt. I said this to his face at my last fight, my fight before this fight. I said, "You're a bitch. You're a paper champion. You're a transitional champion. And I'm going to take your heart, and I'm going to take your fucking belt." And then he lost his belt, and he lost his teeth in the fight as well. So not only did he lose the fucking fight, he lost the belt, and he lost his teeth, and he lost his pride in that fight too. He's a cocky little guy. Well, he's not little, but he's a cocky son of a bitch.
You got a girl? You should take that too.
No, I'm a married man.
Oh, okay.
I'm a married man. I have 4 kids.
No way.
I have 4 kids, dude.
So when your kids see you getting into this combat sports and stuff like that, and they're encouraged, how old are your kids?
6'5", 3, and 2.
So, first off, you did them all jam-packed right in there, right?
100%.
But, so what are you going to do when, the 6-year-old starts going hey, I want to fight like that?
She doesn't. So I tried to get her into wrestling, and
Not into it?
not into it. She wants to be cheerleader, gymnastics. I'm not the type to, I have my own dreams, and I had a lot of people shoot my dreams down all my life. So whatever her dreams are in life, and whatever my son's is, and my other 2 daughters, I'm always gonna stand by their side. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna do the opposite of what I was brought up. It's not just my parents that did that. It's just everybody around me. So what I was known for is I would be in school and I'd be I'm gonna be a pro wrestler. I would talk about it all day long, and I would talk about it until the day I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And then when I wanted to be an MMA fighter, I'm going to be in the UFC. I'm going to be in the UFC. I didn't end up in the WWE or the UFC, but I ended up in the number 2 company in the world. You know what I mean? So, but I manifested that shit. But at one point, it didn't seem like it was going to go my way, but here we are now. You know what I mean?
Do you think you're you love being a dad and a solid husband so much because you didn't grow up with that around you?
Both of my parents were good. You know what I mean? Like my dad was a good father, my mom was a good mother. But yeah, I mean, like I missed that void in there. You know what I mean? My mom and dad weren't together. So one of the things with me is the biggest thing is making sure that family's intact and making sure it's a happy household. Do my best, you know. Of course, I get mad, you know. I yell, you know what I mean. But it's part about having 4 kids. It's hectic. It's crazy.
How do you check yourself? Like
The gym,
do you do?
training, punching people in the face.
I would imagine that's a pretty good aggression outlet.
Yeah, I mean, do I lose it sometimes? Of course, you know, I'm a human being. You know what I mean? But you know, it's a part of being a dad. And like I said, I'm a human. I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to give at the same time. You know what I mean?
So wait, your birth name is Lex Ludlow.
Yeah.
You're named after
Luger, Lex Luger. I met him.
Okay, so wait, but back up. Your dad said,
So
"This
my
is my
mom-
son, Lex Luger."
It's kind of a messed up story, I guess, but my mom wanted to name me, so I'm Lex Brian Ludlow, that's my name.
Okay.
My mom wanted to name me Brian, B-R-Y-A-N, Lex Ludlow, right? My dad wanted Lex, so they compromised on the Brian Lex Ludlow. When my mom gave birth to me, she lost a lot of blood, so she was knocked out. And then they were like, to my dad, mind you, my mom and my dad were 16 and 17, okay? So they said to my dad, what do you want his name to be? And he was like, Lex Brian Ludlow. That was a heel move.
Dad's the man.
Heel move, right?
It's interesting because for my son it was Carter or NWO, but I lost. He's Carter.
You wanted his name to be NWO? Okay, I'm about to serious. That would be hilarious.
Lex, your first Skinny Joey's experience.
It was very good, I thought. I'd give it like an 8.8.
Yeah, 8.8 is a solid score, man. Okay, so what's next? Let's talk about it. I mean, I know that you have somebody in mind who you've been calling out.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. Is that gonna get scheduled? Is that on the table?
It's up to Mr. Feldman and Nate Shook, but I definitely want that scheduled for sure. I think, you know, I was telling you in there a little bit, me and him would go back and forth in his comments or other comments for a while. And this is the quietest I ever heard Mr. Camozzi. So I think he's hiding for real this time. I've been saying for a while this guy's ducking and hiding, but I'm pretty sure this guy really is for real this time. I even like talk to his corner guy sometimes, and I haven't heard from him either.
They're all going ghost on you.
All going ghost.
So where do you go from here? Like, what's your day job look like?
I have this is my full-time job. Yeah, I quit my job in 2022.
What were you doing?
I worked at a place called Ward Trucking. I was a dock lead supervisor.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
How'd you quit? Was it fun? Or was it like, did you give them the solid 2 weeks or did you just say?
Hey, I said 2 weeks and then they let me go a week. They let me
Solid.
do 1 week. He was pissed off.
Really?
Yeah, he was mad.
You're following your dreams. What's wrong with that?
He didn't look at it that way.
You're not a big Philly sports guy, so you won't be down here opening day?
No, I'll be at home. Maybe, probably at the gym, training.
He's dialed in, he's disciplined, other than when I can get him away over here to have a cheesesteak.
Yeah, it was pretty good cheesesteak too. I can't stop thinking about it. I might get another.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What, for the ride home
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
All right, nice. His name is Lex Ludlow. Look out for him. He's about to be 4-0 after his next fight in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Or if you want to challenge him, he'll take you right out here on Broad.
Pretty much what a BKFC fight is. Just a street fight.
April 4th, Bach Building, PWE, BTA taking over. And we just got another member. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, this is awesome. Dude.
We'll have Lex Ludlow in the building at the Bach Building. And if they've got a new general manager by then cool. This guy better stay out of our way like the last schmuck. And either way, we're gonna be running shop in there. So
Who you guys going against?
anybody who wants it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. I appreciate the shirt, guys.